What's up, everyone? This is Pooka, and welcome to another game I played on the Pokemon trading card game online. And this is going to be a special Halloween deck. Hope you guys are ready to be spooked by all these creepy, crazy Pokemon I got in this deck. The scariest part about this deck is just how bad it really is. Alright, so just to give a rundown of what exactly we're going to be playing with in this deck. I basically pulled out any potentially spooky Pokemon and threw them into this deck, and I'm very thankful my opponent played that end because my hand was looking really bad. But we got Crobat, we got Dusknoir, we got Zoroark, we got Umbreon, we got Chandelure, we got Noctowl. Some people are creeped out by owls. I think that's just about all of them. Up, Giratina. So a lot of ghosts and psychic Pokemon and dark Pokemon, and my game is crashing because it cannot take the spookiness. But yeah, looks like going up against a Garchomp Altaria deck. Oh yeah, Sableye is very creepy as well, so we put him in here too. But yeah, this is not a serious deck at all. But we're gonna see what we can do here. We're going to see if my theory holds true that any deck is as good as Garchomp Altaria. We're going to find that out right here. Alright, so I'm going to go with a Hypnotoxic Laser, excuse me, and a Spiral Drain on Golbat for 20 damage onto that Gibble. Take that Gibble. And we have a Juniper for next turn. My opponent decides to catch her out. My Duskull. And we're going to see what we can do here. Now, my Pokemon are all pretty bad attackers, but we're hoping that the magic of Halloween can help me out here. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll get lucky. Who knows? But the one good thing about Garchomp Altaria is that it is very consistent. It can, once it gets that Gabite going, it can Dragon Call for another Gabite, and then it can Dragon Call for another Gabite, and then it can Dragon Call for another Gabite, and then it can Dragon Call for a Garchomp, and then you're pretty much set up for the rest of the game. Of course, the Gabite's ability, Dragon Call, allows you to search your deck for a Dragon Pokemon, and that's it. I mean, you can do it every turn. Search for a Dragon Pokemon. It's pretty sweet. Alright, so I get Dusclops into play. And we get a Crobat. Uh-oh. We're going to Night Sight, draw a card. I was hoping for a Float Stone or a Switch, perhaps. But it looks like that's not going to happen. You can get a quick look at Crobat there. And, oh, man, a Max Potion. Going to heal off the damage from that Gabite. And a Level Ball for a Swablu. So, Crobat does not particularly trade well against Garchomp. It takes 3 energy to use Ultra Toxic Fang. And then it does 40. And the poison does 40 in between turns. Pretty sweet. And then with Verbank City Gym you do 20 more. Now that actually is pretty darn scary. Not just because it's Halloween. But, I mean, that's 60 in between turns. That adds up very quickly. It's very good, actually. It's just way too expensive to use in competitive play. And it looks like my opponent's just going to switch into Garchomp and pass for the turn. That's a little puzzling. I'm not sure what's going on here, but we're just going to run right in there. Retreat into Crobat. And I think I already used Night Sight. I already drew my card, which is going to be an Ultra Ball. So we'll go ahead and discard the Chandelure and my Iris. Sorry, Iris. You have a nice costume, but you're not going to come out to play on Halloween this time. And I was looking for my Eevee, but it looks like Eevee is nowhere to be found. It is prized. One of the things about running like a bunch of different spooky Pokemon is you only really get to run one of a lot of them. For example, I have a 1/1/1 Dusknoir, a 1/1 Umbreon, a 1/1 Noctowl. So these cards have a tendency to be in your prize cards quite a bit. Thought about adding a town map, but it's not a very scary card, although I guess it could be like a treasure map or something. It could have fit the theme of the deck, but oh well. So we did use Ultra Toxic Fang on this Garchomp. Alright, so it is poisoned and... Oh, there's another max potion, never mind. I was going to say this is going to be pretty sweet. I got Dusknoir out so I could Sinister Hand and move some damage around and, you know, knock out Gibble, and then I could still Ultra Toxic Fang, but then he removed all the damage, and, well, I got hit with a Mock Cut for 100. So things are not looking very good, but I am actually pretty surprised that Crobat has lived this long. And I'm going to Night Sight, draw a card, attach that Dark to Sableye, because Junk Hunt, let's be honest, might be my only way to win at this point. I do have this Super Rod. I'm going to go ahead and use it. Shuffle in a Psychic, Chandelure, and a Zoroark. Like I said, I do run 1/1 lines of pretty much everything. Crobat is the only thing where I run like a 2/2/2 line. Since there's so many creepy bats on Halloween. It's pretty much a staple of the Halloween stuff. You see bats everywhere. Bats and ghosts and ghouls and goblins. It's pretty much staples of Halloween. Alright, here we go. Ultra Toxic Fang. 40 damage, 40 from poison, 20 from Verbank, for a total of 100. And that thing has to move out of the active spot, otherwise it is going to be knocked out from poison. But this might be a trade-off that my opponent wants to take. And oh my goodness, there are 4 Altaria in play. Now Altaria has Fight Song. That ability does 20 more for, or all your Dragon Pokemon's attacks do 20 more for each Altaria in play. Whew, that means all of his attacks are doing plus 80 damage. Plus 80! That means a Mock Cut for 1 energy is now doing 140 damage. That is far more efficient than my attack. Oh well. So now we gotta decide what I want to do. Fortunately, I was not really attacked. So I'm gonna try to figure out what my best plan of action is on this turn. Do I want to end my opponent here? He does only have 3 cards in hand. But then again, I don't have a whole lot to work with, so I guess I'm going to go ahead and use N here. And I get my Dowsing Machine back. Basically, I would like to just knock out this Gabite. And then see if there's any way we can knock out Garchomp on the following turn. I don't really know. But I think using Ultra Toxic Fang here, taking out that Gabite, is probably my best bet here. I did get the Float Stone onto Dusknoir. So now my big old ghost has a free retreat cost. We're going to go into Crobat. And you know what? We're just going to attach a double colorless to Dusknoir. Why not? I don't think I've ever used Shadow Punch in a real game, but this could be my first time. And we're going to Ultra Toxic Fang for 40. Poison's going to finish it off. And the Halloween deck has a lead, folks. We took a prize. That is more than I could have ever asked for. Alright, there's a Tool Scrapper on the Float Stone, and there's an N, and there's a Mock Cut for 140 damage for a single energy. Now, fortunately, look at this hand. I drew a perfect hand. Alright, Rare Candy into Chandelure, and Chandelure is one of the creepiest Pokemon by far. I mean, read the flavor text sometimes. It is one creepy dude. And we're going to switch after using a Cursed Shadow and Confuse Ray for 10. Knocking out the Garchomp with our Chandelure Sableye combo. Oh yeah. Alright, it is Halloween. All my opponent has left is 4 Altaria. That's it. And Altaria does not have a very good attack. For 3 energy, it's like a water, a metal, and a colorless. It has Glide, which does 40. It's, I don't know what it is, but most of the times when Pokemon have really good abilities, they have really bad attacks. I don't know what that's all about, but That is a trend most of the time. There are exceptions to that, like Blastoise. There's Deluge, the ability. It's awesome, but Hydro Pump is still a pretty solid attack as well. There are exceptions, but like Dusknoir, for example, awesome ability, Sinister Hand. Its attack, 4 energy, 60 damage. That is horrendous. But I do play a Juniper here. I was trying to decide where I wanted to put my energy. I decided Chandelure might be a better attacker than Dusknoir. So I attached the Psychic there, and a Dowsing Machine for Hypnotoxic Laser, and we're going to Junk Hunt. So my one Sableye coming in handy here. We're going to grab the Dowsing Machine and Hypnotoxic Laser. With that Burbank City Gym out there, we're doing 30 a turn, and Altaria only has 70 HP. So those lasers are going to add up very quickly. We see a switch for my opponent to get out of that, and I'm going to play a Getsis. There aren't many more spooky supporters than Getsis, right? Guy's wearing a monocle, or whatever that is. Looks like he's kind of wearing a Scouter from Dragon Ball Z. I don't really know what that is on his eye, but it's creepy. I'm just going to Junk Hunt again, get back a laser and a catcher. And you know what? Things are looking up. We got that Dusknoir out. We can pretty much do whatever we want from here. And okay, I guess the Halloween deck is working somehow. We're going to Sinister Hand, move some damage from one Altaria to the active, move some more damage. We're targeting down the shiny Altaria. He's the one who stands out. We got to pick on that one. We're going to move 40 damage over to it so then I can Hypnotoxic Laser. And then the 30 from Laser and Burbank will finish off the Altaria. And once again, we can Junk Hunt. I've not really done much actual damage this game. But Sableye and Hypnotoxic Laser, by far one of the deadliest combos in the Pokemon TCG right now. No question about that. Even in actual competitive games. Now, not to say that Garchomp Altaria isn't an actual competitive deck, but I would say this game is a bit silly. A Gibble does come into play, though. So this could be a change of pace for things. I am going to play a level ball here. And you can see I got Woohoo, Noctowl, and Giratina. I'm going to grab an Eevee. Put that into play. And we'll go ahead and Super Rod. Shuffle in 2 Psychic Energy. And probably just 3 Psychic Energy since I had no energy left in my deck. And now what do we want to do here? I can attach that Double Colorless to Dusknoir and maybe power it up for Shadow Punch or something. We are going to Hypnotoxic Laser. I'm not sure why I'm not attaching, but whatever. I'm going to get back another Hypnotoxic Laser and a Pokemon Catcher. And we'll see what we can do with this. If my opponent evolves into Gabite next turn, we can simply Catcher it out. And then move all 50 damage that's on the board. And then Hypnotoxic Laser. And then the 30 will finish him off. So I'm not too worried about any potential Garchomps. And the combination of Dusknoir, Hypnotoxic Laser, and Sableye is very spooky indeed. I hope you guys are scared. You guys must be shaken in your boots, knowing that this combo exists. And there's a Chandelure waiting. And an Eevee. Oh, Eevee's not very scary, I guess. But whatever. It will be when it evolves into Umbreon. Just you wait. Alright, so here's a Sinister Hand. This is by far the most annoying ability to use in the game. So you have to click, 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 click. That's 5 times to move 10 damage. Not very efficient. I hope they fix this someday, but it's been like a year and they still have not fixed it. But anyway, we're going to move 60 off of the active to that Gibble. And that will knock it out. And then we can just Junk Hunt again. It's actually kind of fun. I'm not really doing much, but It's fun. I get a Team Plasma badge off of the prize. Woohoo! And I was going to play a Skyla for Umbreon so I could unleash my deadly Umbreon Team Plasma badge combo. That is truly frightening. But oh well. I can attach... Yeah, this turn I'm actually going to attach the second double colorless to the Dusknoir. And then we'll Junk Hunt for Ultra Ball. And there's not even much to take anymore. I have gotten back pretty much everything I wanted. Ultra Ball and Switch. That works for me. And Hypnotoxic Laser continues to add up. Opponent plays a Juniper. And let's see. Ooh, a Landorus EX. Whoa. Alright, well that is a big beefy Pokemon. We were not ready for that. That is scary. He's going to Hammerhead for 30 and 30. But you know what? I actually think I can win this turn. Let's see. There's 50 damage on board. Yep. Alright, prepare yourselves for the most epic turn in Pokemon TCG history. Alright, here we go. So, I'm going to evolve into Umbreon. Team Plaza badge on to Dusknoir. And then we're going to... Now Dusknoir has 150 HP. We're going to use Sinister Hand. Move 10 over to that Altaria. Retreat into Chandelure. Cursed Shadow. Put 3 damage counters onto Altaria. Knocking it out. And I'll draw my first prize. And then switch into Dusknoir. Attach. And Catcher. And Shadow Punch for 60 damage and the win. And the Halloween deck takes a victory over Garchomp Altaria with Dusknoir, Chandelure, Umbreon, Sableye, Noctowl, Zoroark, Giratina, Absol, Crobat, Mr. Mime, and whatever other spooky Pokemon ended up in this deck. And I think my opponent is so flabbergasted that he doesn't even want to promote a Pokemon, but finally he does. And we win. Yeah. We won with the Halloween deck. Alright. Happy Halloween, everybody. Hope you guys are having a good weekend. Hope you enjoyed. I'm Pooka from the Top Cut, and I'll see you guys next time.